go.
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the El Dorado County Fire Protection District Board meeting for November 21st, 2024. Can we get a roll call?
Director Britton.
Aye.
Director
Here.
Evanston.
Here.
Director Gilchrist.
Here.
Director Rogan.
Here.
Director Kaiserman.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, a quorum has been established.
All right, and if we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next item 4 is the approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Second, all in favor? Aye. Item 5, consent calendar. All items approved on a single vote, except those pulled for individual discussion and action. Do we have anything to pull? Consent? And if not, do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I'll make the motion to approve the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Item 6, public comment. Any person wishing to address the board on any item that is not on the agenda may do so at this time. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Do we have any public comment? No one? All right. Move on to item 7, report of action taken in closed session. On item A, nothing to report. Item B, nothing to report. Item 8, departmental matters. 8A, administrative. First reading of ordinance 2024-01, levy of a special tax within Community Facilities District Number 1, unincorporated territory.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is a continuation of our ongoing CFD process. At the last board meeting, the board approved the resolutions. We did the ballot, which was unanimous to form the CFD. This is the initial first reading of the ordinance, which then lays out the fee structure and levying of the fees and how that process works. There is no action that's required on this. It will come back to the board at the December meeting for final approval. We do have Kathy from CPF online that can fill in the gaps and probably explain it a lot better than I did. But Kathy, if there's anything you'd like to add, please feel free to step it out.
Yeah, Chief, you did a great job. Really, all this does is authorizes you to collect a special tax. This does not set your tax roll. That's something that the board will take action on actually in July. This just simply gives you, as a fire district, the authority to collect special taxes. As we understood it from legal counsel, without this ordinance, you actually didn't have anything in your organization that allowed the collection of the taxes, which is why this additional item is needed. And once it's approved, again, all it does is allow you to collect taxes. In July, we'll come back to you with the official tax roll. That will be what's placed on property tax bills in the future years. So it's kind of just an administrative action.
Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, is there anything that have any discussion on with this or?
I've got one question. Under section 3 here, and on the PDF document is page 58, but section 3, future annexation areas. As I read this, so I'm understanding it, each parcel that comes in the future, whoever is building on that parcel, they vote to be part of the CFD, or is it, they're not gonna vote? Because I understood that once we form the first one enters, it's formed and there's no voting going forward. So
No,
Go ahead, Kathy.
I would say there is still voting going forward. The voting happens for each property owner. It just isn't done in the same process that we did it last time. You designated an annexation area. And remember, we did that formal resolution where you called for an election. That's the stuff we don't have to do anymore. Now moving forward, the petitioner, so with the property owner that moves forward, will submit a petition. They'll get a packet of information back that includes a ballot. They just send it to the district, and administratively, the chief and your team can look at the ballot, see it was approved, and then your board only has to adopt one resolution. It's called a resolution of annexation. And the chief simply reports the property owner petitioned for this, they voted yes. Board, you may now add them to your CFD. And what this ordinance does is just allow, as those annexations occur, they're just part of the taxes. They're just part of the taxes you're able to collect.
What if a person doesn't wanna, says no?
Yeah, it's a condition of development. So they have the choice to say no. But if they don't say yes, they don't have the right to build their project. We need it as a condition of development in the district.
Okay, so, got it. So for them to build, they have to say yes.
It's conditional.
Yep, got it, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, discussion? So there's nothing we have to take action
There's
on, that was just a
nothing-
review.
This will come back to the board in December for the second hearing.
Okay.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 8B, operational Diamond Springs, Edward County Fire Equipment Purchase Agreement, review, discuss, and action. Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The district received our 3 new Pierce engines. The fleet manager and apparatus committee have recommended the placement of one of the new engines to be at station 49 to replace the current engine 49. The current engine 49 will be moved into reserve ready status. Placing a new engine 49 in service will require the purchase of additional equipment to fully outfit the engine. The agreement presented to the board attached to staff report will allow Diamond Springs Fire to provide El Dorado County Fire with $130,000 in funding to purchase the equipment. The arrangement to have El Dorado County Fire purchase the new equipment will allow for better pricing of equipment while ensuring standardized equipment on all engines. Staff recommend the board approve the agreement as presented and authorize chief to enter into the agreement with the Diamond Springs El Dorado Fire. Essentially, this has been already approved by the Diamond Board. They will provide us, if it's approved by the board, $130,000, and we will purchase the equipment for all 3 engines, so it's all the same across the board. And need a little better purchasing power, we'll be buying more equipment.
All right, is there any public comment on this? Public comment, any board discussion or comment? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion. Sign them.
So I'll move that we approve the agreement between Diamond Springs and El Dorado County to purchase the equipment from the for $130,000.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Have to do poll, yeah.
Director Brennan?
Aye.
Director Emerson?
Aye.
Director Gilchrist?
Aye.
Director Rogan?
Aye.
Director Kaiserman?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Get to park a new engine in there, chief. Nice. Little good. Okay, item 8C, administrative, station 27 BLM lease agreement, review, discuss, and action. Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This staff report was put together by Division Chief Trent Williams, who is our facilities manager. The district has been in talks with the Bureau of Land Management, BLM, regarding the lease agreement for Station 27, which is located in Gold Hill. More than a year ago, negotiations were had with the U.S. Forest Service over the lease at Kyber Station 16. During this time, a commercial real estate agent was consulted concerning the recommended rate for leasing commercial property in El Dorado County. The agent recommended a rate between $1 and $1.50 per square foot per month. The final amount depends on how much maintenance the district will provide and if any utilities will be covered. U.S. Forest Service and El Dorado County Fire came to an agreement and a new contract was finalized. The district then reviewed the agreement with Station 27 in Gold Hill. It found that BLM was paying 32 cents a square foot per month, and the district was responsible for paying all utilities and all maintenance. BLM was contacted and discussions began. The district has received a lease agreement from BLM, which will increase the base rate to $1.25 per square foot per month. Additionally, BLM will pay directly or reimburse the district for all utilities they use and continue on the previously agreed station maintenance. This lease will be extended for additional 5 years with an annual increase of 2% for both the base rate and utilities. Gold Hill Station 27 and Kyber Station 16 are both leased to federal agencies. This proposed agreement for Station 27 to bring the departments into alignment with each other regarding the base rate, utility paid, and further is providing funding on regular maintenance. Further, it provides funding to perform regular maintenance that will extend the service life of these stations for all use. Staff recommend the board authorize fire chief to enter into a lease agreement for Station 27 with BLM. Staff would also recommend the board segregate the funding generated from both Station 27 and 16. These funds be maintained separately to ensure those funds stay segregated. These funds would provide maintenance and repairs for lease facilities and should be carried over year to year so the large foreseeable projects can be planned for. And attached to the staff report is the amended, updated BLM agreement along with the original. They're in fact.
Okay, public comment? Public? So board comment, discussion?
Excellent.
Yeah, I think it's really
I didn't
good.
realize we were doing that little.
Yeah, I did, when I read this, I was puzzled as to, 2% versus the California Consumer Price Index. And I ran a model against those 15 years, and in the first year, it's almost $1,000 that would be additional that the district would get. Second year, it's about 2, and then if I run it out for 15 years, it's tens of thousands of dollars. And so I'm just wondering, and I didn't see it in there, I tried to find it in the contract. Does the federal government lock us into 2%, or could we negotiate the CPI?
My understanding from my conversations with Chief Williams, they would not do a CPI, and it's a government accounting thing. This has been a process to get to this.
Sure.
And that's for your 2%. And there is on page 2 of the updated, the initial rent is 66,000 some change. And by the year 39, it's 87,000.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that significant increase. So, and that's not to disparage the work. I didn't understand and I couldn't find anything with CPI. The other, it says 2% for both base rate and utilities. So are we increasing utilities? Or are they paying actuals?
They're going to reimburse us the actuals. I
Okay.
think that was still a discussion piece when the staff report was generated, as I was reading out, that's it. BLM does not have the ability to set up an account with PG&E, EID, et cetera, so they will reimburse us directly for those costs. So that will probably increase at a higher rate than 2%.
Right.
Because they're the actuals.
Okay. So, yeah. Thank you.
And then the way I read it is we'll have a separate fund for Station 27 and 16 for any repairs, upgrades, and all that versus it getting put into the entire budget.
Because those are, now that they're leased, there is, repairs that go into that, and as those facilities need repairs, we don't want to pull out of Chief Williams' ongoing budget for our stations that our crews are using. Some of those, if you have an HVAC unit, 16 needs pavement, pretty bad. So that's like, in that next probably a couple of years. So setting that aside, we have had some conversations that as that grows, it could also be, really within a couple of years, if you had an anomaly, the HVAC at 25 goes out, instead of killing Chief Williams' budget, you can keeping it set aside. Once there's a mistake there, that could be used for a little lighter across the station. But set those aside so that, when 17 is asphalt or big station, got actually some extra there that doesn't, because the 100,000 we put aside for facilities right now, it's ongoing maintenance. And there's no ability to upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does repair.
So that's a separate,
Yeah.
fund, and that's gonna be so that'll give it a designated fund category in the financial statements. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Good.
And I haven't paid attention, but they maintain kind of a year-round presence there with their paid guys.
They've done a good job, and they do a lot of the ongoing maintenance. If you do all the small stuff, wax or toilet, light switch, those things, they take care of those type of things for us. Which really they're technically not supposed to be bound to do, but they've been very stewards. The crews are there, have been very good stewards. BLM's to work through.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So. You're
Okay, any other further comment?
Good work.
Yeah. We have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, item 8D, operational apparatus surplus, review, discuss, and action. Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chief Lohan has requested that the district surplus the following apparatus from our fleet. The 2002 HME West States Type 1 fire engine, our identification on 05 ECF 32. The 2002 West States Type 1 fire engine was purchased from OES with the intent of a temporary gap fill within the ECF fleet. With the addition of other apparatus into our fleet, this unit is no longer needed. The unit does have resale value in the market in lieu of an auction. Staff recommend the board authorize the surplus of the 2002 HME West States Type 1 fire.
I don't know, we still have that there.
That's the one, so they're 19.
That's the one that was 19.
Yeah. Did we do like a wrap on it or something like that?
We painted it to match our color scheme, but we've had it for, I think.
About 5 years.
I remember that, yeah.
It got us through that gap.
How many miles are on it?
I think it only had like 40 something, 30 or 40,000 we got it, so maybe 50,000.
So
The crews run out of that Type 3 primarily.
with the resale value, and I went out there and started looking at pricing for them, and it seems like it would be a fair amount of money that could be utilized. Put back in, right?
I mean, if I was to gander on the auction block, it might go $8,000 or $10,000 resale, might get 30 or 44.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw one out that,
I would say less.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we'll pay.
She called you aboard?
Yeah. I don't think they can afford it.
They probably can't afford it. Okay, any other discussion on it? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to surplus apparatus 05 ECF 32.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Alright. 8E, administrative. Fiscal year 2024-2025 ETF JPA final budget, review, discuss, and action. Chief.
Brand. Your name.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The board of directors has approved the preliminary and final budget for El Dorado County Fire District. During the approval process of the preliminary budget review, the board also approved the preliminary ECF JPA budget for fiscal year 24-25. There was an oversight by staff to not include the ECF JPA fiscal year 24-25 budget for final approval when the board approved our final budget. Attached to the staff report is the proposed ECF JPA fiscal year 24-25 final budget. There have been no changes from the preliminary budget that was previously presented to the board of directors. Staff recommend the board approve the ECF JPA fiscal year 2024-25.
We don't have any public. So any board discussion?
So moved.
Okay. We have the.
He already asked.
Oh. sorry.
Yeah. Okay, public comment, another comment from the board. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
In a second.
Second.
And we do need to
Roll call.
do roll calls because we have Director Cosner.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Director Britton.
Aye.
Director Bennington.
Aye.
Director Gelka.
Aye.
Director Oben.
Aye.
Director Cudgerman.
Okay. Item 9, board matters. Anything for board matters? Item 10, committee reports, budget and finance.
We have nothing to report.
Okay. B, communications outreach, Director Gilchrist.
Communications and outreach, we met this past Friday. No new business, was discussed, old business as far as, rank and file commitment to community comprehensive communication, that's in process. The Diamond Springs El Dorado Fire District annexation, once we start the LAFCO price process, some good communications will be coming out. That's all in the works. Newsletter, no report. Finance campaign, Director Breton and I are gonna begin to team up with our communications manager, Captain Pagansky, can start to get communications out around our budgets that outline the various classes so that the public can be aware of what it takes to run the fire department and understand those costs so that they can see what their tax dollars are going towards. Inter-district communication and collaboration, working with OWOPR on a shared communication campaign. EMS fire suppression communication campaign, that's in process. Next year's meetings will model this last year, pretty much right around the same dates, nothing significant there. Website statistics and the social media was discussed, and I apologize, I might ask Captain Pagansky to speak on what he reported. I don't have it in my notes, and I don't think I put you on the spot. But there was some good information as far as our number of hits to our webpage, significant story that came out, and I don't have the email. I had some problems with email. So some good highlights that were occurring as far as our outreach and communications. Chief, if I put him on the spot, I'm sorry.
I can speak on it. Let me just see if I can pull it up on my email. The document. Make sure that I wrote it correctly. All right, so I was able to pull that up. So we reported our social media and website analytics for the period, the third quarter, from July through September of 2024. During that time, we had 161,000 visits to our website and a 2.43% increase in our email subscribers to our email list. For our Facebook, we were at 17,443 followers. So during that period, we had 6,500 new followers, which is kind of an anomaly, I guess, for that period, being that we have been on Facebook for over 10 years now. To gain additional 6,000 in 3 months is pretty tremendous. We had a lot of good content though during that time, this fire season. I think it's been a big concern for many people. 62,000 people visited our page, and our page reached 226,000 people during that period. We did have one of our most popular Facebook posts had over 3,900 reactions and 233 comments. It was a post on July 19th. It's a video regarding some fires that were occurring in our general area. We had a little bit of a lull in fire season locally, but there was fires in Amador and other areas, and so one of our agents was out on those fires and provided some information on one of those. With the Instagram, we had 18% increase in our followers, and we're up to 6,600 roughly followers on that page. And our profile was visited 4,300 times. Our most popular post during that time was a post in July that received 16,000 reactions and was liked 960 times. And it was about rescue that our crews had performed, treating a cat out of a septic tank. And they provided CPR for that. And were successful in reuniting the one kitten that was there. Unfortunately, I heard that a couple of days later, the cat had some significant illness and didn't make it past that, but our crews did say that. 2 more days. It didn't make the initial post. But you know, there's definitely an interesting amount of things that our crews are doing on a daily basis. So sometimes it's the abnormal stuff that rises to the top. Our TikTok platform had a 3.9% increase in our followers, or 1,400 followers on that platform. Our videos have been viewed during that period 23,000 times, and we received 595 likes there. Our YouTube channel, we had a 1.4% increase in our subscribers. Our YouTube predominantly hosts needing footage. That was, people watched 13.9 hours of our content on YouTube during that time. We had 19 more subscribers to our page. I think that, you know, we're only about 960,000 people away from receiving a silver YouTube subscriber button. So we can get about 900,000 more people to jump on. And a report.
Thank you, Captain. I think the one comment I'd say with that, with the observation, is the visibility of what County Fire is doing is significantly on the rise as far as involved with the community and the services that are being provided. So hats off to our public information officers and our communications manager.
And just one extra comment on that, regarding our website visits, our homepage is always our most visited page. But the second most was careers, so people are checking us out.
That's good.
What's going on, whether they're coming from our social media or otherwise.
I have a question. Are we getting any kind of, are we putting out any press releases on all the new engines we're getting? And the truck?
We haven't put too many out yet, just because we're waiting for a little bit more in service and some potential events. So some of those will come out, you know, as those are closer to being in service, and if we're gonna have any special events, starting.
Yeah, we did have a discussion on that, because of the different variety. So obviously, you know, one that's going to 49, that'll be kind of a big deal. That'll obviously be something joined with Diamond Springs Fire, the other stations and County Fire, you know, kind of each do it individual. And then certainly with the ladder truck, with that joint effort with Red Hawk, that we obviously want to have a really good event with that. And they'll probably want to do kind of a really big deal with that, rightfully so. So we do have that kind of on target. It's just as we get the release of the engines to be actually put in service, then we'll have a better time frame. But yeah, we did discuss some opportunities to address that. Certainly, we need to.
It's about what, 2 months out till we take this. They're in Sacramento, right?
No, they're here. The equipment's being mounted and they're waiting on some equipment.
Okay.
They're close.
Are they already at the respective stations?
No, we have it at different locations. One's been out of 19 because the crew's out there and doing some work on John Lyons. Sheldon Baptist, that's better.
At 19 and where else?
John Lyons, his personal residence, his shop, he was our previous mechanic, he has a lot of that work. He lives down, outside Jackson.
Okay. All right, you're by 19. Thank you. What?
So. The other one might be.
There was.
So, yeah, 48.
Is the truck still at 20?
Truck's down at 20.
Oh, is that 20?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not in service.
Yeah. Check it out.
Right back here for a second.
Separate.
I got a good tour.
Pretty shiny.
Mhm.
Anything else for communications?
Nope, that's it.
Good. Ad hoc committees, facilities and equipment. We haven't, something that, Director Amos and I were talking about last meeting is, we get closer to the, annexation is to look holistically at County Fire Diamond and just do kind of a good assessment of the apparatus. Just kind of as a strategic planning mode, when we're talking about, you know, replacements and needs, and do we need to surplus anything? Those kind of items. And also for us, I mean, I anecdotally know from working, you know, what Diamond's got, but there's still a lot of stuff I'm not super familiar with. And then for Jim, you know, what actually is in the fleet with Diamond and what is truly in the fleet, you know, with the County Fire. And just kind of getting a plan together and working with, Chief Gallagher, who oversees your apparatus stuff? Your chief officer?
Chief Daniels.
Chief Daniels does, okay, so I'll be meeting with Chief Daniels, meeting with, Chief Willian and looking at that, and then doing the same thing with the facilities. Just to get a good overall assessment and idea, and then so we, as a board, can start planning ahead and thinking, down the road as far as, need replacement needs for apparatus or facility improvement needs and that kind of thing. Just so we get ahead of the ball game, so that's all we kind of had. Yep, anything else to add? Perfect. The human resources,
So report was in closed session.
got that, take care of. Let's see, Diamond Springs, Delaware County Annexation Working Group.
So I would just say our last meeting was canceled because we had the retiring meeting with Diamond Springs. We meet on December 12th. Is that next week?
Okay. Move on to item 11, correspondence and communications, Chief.
Hey, Mr. Chair, in your packet, you'll see the monthly stats for the engine companies and medic units. They've been busy as usual with running calls. One thing I would draw your attention to, I added in our new engines from Pierce, including engine 17, which we've had for a couple of years now, have what's called a HAAS, H-A-A-S system in them. And that's an alerting system that is, it comes automatically from Pierce. And what that little box in those engines does is they're automobile manufacturers that it will automatically, if the engine's approaching code 3, or if they're approaching the scene, it'll automatically pop up on their radio, or if it's got an in-dash screen, emergency vehicle approaching, or you're approaching emergency scene. We have access to the dashboard on that, so I pulled engine 17 stats for this October 1 through 31. And, there were 431 drivers that were alerted during that time, a total of 35 incidents. The incidents are low because a lot of times they're in their type 3. So that's why the call volume's down there. And then it's got the lifetime stats. The 3 new engines in the ladder truck also have that system in them, so we'll be kind of monitoring that. They are expanding. They just brought Volkswagen and signed a contract with them. They recently added Mercedes. Chrysler's been involved for a while now, so depending on the vehicle you have, you might actually have this alert that comes up that there's an engine. Or you're approaching the scene. The idea is to identify that to the driver so that they're approaching the scene, they slow down and cautious so the scene safe for close. But we'll be tracking that, especially once we get the new engines online to kind of see what that is. The subscription to that is free for the first 3 years. And then if we were to maintain that across our fleet, it's about $3,000 a year. Once that subscription ends in 3 years, but we'll kind of track it and see, what kind of value we're getting out of it, but it's a good thing.
I see a couple of good data points already. Time to see that's. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good information, so.
I when I saw this and it caught my eye, good work on this, this could be a great communication piece as to how the district's responding to an incident, and then how they're alerting the public, utilizing the technology, and then again, tying and say, hey, here's where your tax dollars are going, and this is the services that are being provided. I think it's outstanding.
And they have some little short informational videos we can also grab and as our new engines roll out, according to push that stuff out on our website, social media platforms. You say, what is this? Pops up on your screen.
Does there explore anything with our insurance company, if there's any sort of break available that we have these systems in place?
There isn't right now per POS when I met with them. They're working, that's something they're working on. They're trying to get the insurance companies to buy on, because there's also an add-on feature where you can do responding unit to responding unit. So if we have vehicles that are meeting an intersection, the lights go red, they install those things, they go red, so that if there's car drivers that another vehicle is approaching, it's good.
Cool.
Pretty cool system.
Yeah.
Then we also received a thank you card from the Lions Club. We participated in their 100-year anniversary event at the fairgrounds. That's also included in your packet. That's all we have for communications. I have to answer your
Question for the chief? Okay, item 12, chief's report.
Hey, Mr. Chair, as far as the city of Placerville, we did a walkthrough at 681 Main Street. with city staff for a potential public safety building location. I'm trying to vet out a location. When that, building came up, you know, my first reaction was like, how's that gonna be a firehouse? It's a big building. There's a lot of space there. I don't know that it would be functional for what our needs are. I'm not a building engineer, but, we're going to, pursue with a couple other, consultants we have contacts with to just say, you know, what could be done here to see if there's even a viable option. They're the asking price on it's like 1.8 million. So it'd be, even if you had to do some significant upgrades to it, you're still cheaper than that price tag. You're looking at somewhere probably 40 to 60 million for a brand new building. So we'll see what plays out there. We're kind of looking into it as maybe a potential option, but a lot of information we have to gather before we do that. We also attended the retirement dinner for Pierre Ravaz, who was the department head for development services for the city. They're still actively trying to recruit to backfill this position. He was supposed to retire a couple of weeks ago and he's kind of working on through December as they continue to try to find somebody to the city to fill that spot. We will be participating in the annual Christmas parade, which is on December 8th. We'll have the honor guard, our antique parade engines, and the new truck 28 will be in the parade. On the JPA side of the house, contract negotiations continue for planning. We've been meeting twice a month. We kind of bumped that up a little bit as we're kind of hitting it with some timelines. We want to go stay on track, getting that going. I would say it's still going very well. We're making good progress. The JPA has created an ad hoc committee to evaluate the replacement of the executive director position. We'll be making some recommendations to the JPA board on December 18th. With that, we'd have Christy Jorgensen's come back as the interim, and there may be interest in bringing her back full time. Let's see what it says on the 18th. She had left and gone to other items, but so we can come back to the JPA. As far as the district goes, we had several of our members that attended the OES West Slope EOC drill on October 24th. It was a good multi-agency drill. It was a hazmat scenario and brought in players from the county, fire, law, city. Captain Gansky was there. It was a good drill they put on. All of our personnel completed the factory training that was provided by Pierce for the new truck 28. And the truck and the engines are currently being outfitted and should be going in service before too much longer. The fire prevention specialist position is currently being flown. That closes, I believe it's on the 22nd or the 25th. That position will backfill the promotion of Captain Shepard to Division Chief Fire Marshal, with Chief Sterling, who's retiring on December 12th. So we'll work on getting that piece backfilled. County chiefs are working on obtaining active shooter PPE via Homeland Security grant funding. We're also working with potential donations from Placerville PD on some excess PPE that they have. We have a couple of our members who have completed their probationary requirements. Two of our PAOs, Alexander Prince and Andrew Pryor. And then firefighter paramedic Zach Morrow has successfully completed all of his requirements for his probationary period, but his date isn't until November 27th. So time within all 27th to get the handshake, he's good to go. The county's provided a meeting with county agencies to discuss the auditor and payroll processes. Kathleen and I will be attending that tomorrow. Hopefully it's good.
Fingers crossed.
You know, they've opened it up, so obviously we weren't the only ones who had concerns about that. And then just an update on Strawberry, and that whole, the TRA and the taxes we're not getting. Gathered a lot of historical data. Everything that I've been able to find, it looks like the SOUP's approved resolutions that would put our TRA rate up there is 9.15 or something like that. But I haven't found any smoking gun as to why we're not getting that money yet. So I need to set up, met with the CAO's office a couple times. I need to meet with Sally Zutter and try to dig a little deeper to find out why, you know, why that money isn't coming across and what do we need to do to get it to come across. So that's hopefully here in the next month or two, we'll get a finalization on what happened or what we need to do to move forward with that. The Marshall Foundation for Community Health, they held their 50th anniversary gala on November 16th at Red Hawk. And they're raising money for the Marshall Hospital cardiac unit. The district donated, Take Your Kid to Fire Truck to School, event for them to auction off. They got into a little bit of a bidding war, and the auctioneer looked over and said, "Hey, you do too?" And I'm like, "We'll do too." So each of those went for $2,200 a piece, which was a pretty good dollar amount. We have one more of those that's also going to Marshall. Their emergency room group is doing a Christmas thing. And that funding, whatever we can raise on that one, they'll put towards our peer support. So that's a good one to do, and come right back to our folks. And then, lastly, I will be out of town from November 29th through December 9th. Aloha, Mickey. I'll just miss you over there, but, Chief Gallagher will have district coverage, in my absence. I'll be available if I'm not, but, anyone comes up, Chief Gallagher is graciously agreed to handle. And report.
Okay.
He's good, don't tell him.
Item 13, board comments. Do we have any board comments? No. Item 14, future agenda items. Our next meeting is December 19th, and I will be out of town.
And what we'll have is an ordinance, the secretary of the ordinance.
And then adjournment. Do we have a meeting to adjourn?
Vote to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Now 16 minutes.
Okay, Mickey,
Because that's 4
you
minutes,
saw that there's
16
a
minutes.
second Zoom link
Oh,
for the next
16?
meeting.
You had a
Wow.
16-minute board meeting?
Dang.
So should I stay on with the same link? Or you
No,
want me
there's
to-
a separate link. Do you want me to
Okay.
send it to you? Email,
I-
it came over on the agenda, but I can send it to your email if you want.
No, excuse me, I have that link. I'll hook in.
Perfect. So we'll turn that on right around 2:45.
Okay.
Thanks again.
You have time to do a little surfing in Mandy?
Yeah. Go surfing.
You got a couple. Yes.
Get some, definitely get some grilled mahi.
Even better. Ooh, that's
Blackened
black. Good move. I like that.
at the Paia Fish House. All right. See you all later. Bye.